Hey everybody, it's Cecilia from Pardun Farms. I just wanted to take a few minutes today and talk to you a little bit about our motivation. It's something that's been weighing on my heart a lot lately because something that's very important to Seth and I is that we don't strive to be someone wrapped up in this world, and that we don't, as Christians, strive to make our name bigger than God's name. And the more we thought about it, the more we talked about it, really what our motivation comes down to is we want to eat the right foods. We want to teach our kids to eat the right foods. We want to share with our community the right foods to eat. And we really want to teach other people how to do the same thing. So a little bit about why we feel that way, I think, is important. I grew up on a dairy farm, and we drank raw milk right out of the bulk tank. We ate cows that came off of our farm. We ate green beans that we grew. And so naturally, to me, most of our food should come from our local communities. And that's the way it was until not that long ago. The majority of what people ate came from the community around them. And the majority of people shopped local. And now with some of the big brand stores and online shopping, a lot of that has changed. But Seth and I still think that that's very important. Another thing that's really important to us is the sustainability aspect, because we do believe that God intended us to live in harmony with nature as much as possible. And growing up on a farm, I understand how hard it is to try and compete in the market that's been created by society now. And I've worked at food processing plants, and working in those areas and growing up on a farm, I understand that it's unfortunate, but this is sort of the monster that society has created for our producers and our manufacturers. And all they're trying to do is survive in this crazy market. So it's not really their fault that there's chemicals being used and that kind of stuff. Yes, it's their choice, but they're also just trying to provide for their family and trying to give consumers what they want. And back in, the 18, 17, 1500s, whenever, people were used to food looking the way it does in nature. They understood that apples had bruises, and sometimes there were wormholes or scrapes, and tomatoes had cracks, and they weren't always this perfect, beautiful red globe. And that's where people had a closer relationship with their food. And today's society, that's not the case. And consumers don't want to buy tomatoes that have cracks in them, for example. And so we can't really blame farmers for turning to hybrids or GMOs or chemicals to deter pests or those kinds of things. I really think that everybody is just doing the best that they can, and nobody's outwardly trying to harm anyone else. But I also think that it's our responsibility as children of God to better our earth and the gifts that we've been given here, and to lift each other up. And so when you look at starting to eat in a less processed manner, it is very easy to find yourself going down this rabbit hole of, well, if I eat whole foods, I should really eat natural foods. And if I eat natural foods, I should really eat organically. And if I'm eating organically, but I'm using chemicals for shampoo and conditioner and deodorant and toothpaste and laundry detergent and to clean my counters and all of these things, then it's useless. And if my clothes have chemicals in it, then that's useless. And you just sort of snowball into, there's too much. It's too overwhelming. It doesn't make a difference anyway. And Seth and I really feel like it does make a difference. It makes a difference what we put in our minds, makes a difference what we put in our bodies, and having the ability and the mindfulness to think about what we're doing and how that affects not only our bodies, because it does, and that's important, but also our communities and the people around us and our children and the future children. And so we don't want to be totally caught up in the worries of this world. I don't want to be caught up in politics and all of that stuff, but I don't think we can ignore the things that are going on either. And so recognizing that Seth and I have been given a gift and a passion for serving people. I love to cook. I love to grow vegetables and have farm animals, and I love to teach people. That's what my passion is. And I am so blessed that Seth works and provides for our family, so I have the opportunity to do that. And it is a journey that I have stumbled and fallen and had a hard time. And being on a homestead can be lonely at times because your friends and families don't get why you want to work so hard to make this food when you could just go to the store and buy it. And people don't understand why you want to spend more to shop local, or why, you have to be home to do chores, or you have animals so you can't go camping, and all of those things. And the challenges that other people don't understand when you lose a farm animal, or when you've put all this work into these vegetables and a late frost hits and they're done, and those kinds of things. So we just really thought that we could use this channel sort of as our ability to feed anybody who was seeking information in regards to how to do this. And by feeding people, I really think that we are taking one step forward into lifting people up and building people up and encouraging people and giving people the confidence and the ability to take care of themselves instead of relying on corporations or the government or things of that nature. And so my motivation personally is to just teach other people the mistakes that I've made, so that maybe I can save you from making a few of your own. And to tell people that you can shop at farmers markets, you can shop locally, you can be more sustainable, you can learn how to grow things on your own, you can take whatever step you want, and just encourage and lift up people. That's really my motivation and our motivation. And of course, we want to make God's name big. And I think by loving on people and teaching people what we've learned, that's one way that we can do that. And through our actions, we can teach our children how they should live and what their lives should look like. We can model that for our children, and so that maybe they won't have to struggle with some of the weight issues that Seth and I have struggled with in our lifetime, or maybe they won't have to struggle with some of the health issues that I've struggled with. And there's really a lot of that important stuff that comes from knowledge and wisdom. And that's why I tell people to just keep growing. And I mean, yeah, keep growing food, keep growing plants, but I also mean keep growing, keep seeking truth, keep seeking to understand spiritually and about what you're passionate about. I don't think there's anything wrong with spending time digging into the food that you're eating. I learned from a friend of mine some of the crazy ways that they synthesize chemicals using aborted fetal cells and things like that, that just truly freaked me out, that I don't want to deal with that anymore. And so I sort of panicked and took everything out of our cupboard that's processed and gave it away to people and stuff, because I don't want to put that in my body. I don't like that. It freaks me out. I don't know how else to say it. It really does. And I've had my own health journeys with the caffeine, and being an avid coffee drinker and loving coffee, and realizing that caffeine is really negatively affecting my health. And now, okay, I'll just drink decaf coffee, no big deal, right? Well, I can't do that, because when I looked into decaf coffee, basically the same chemical that they use at a higher concentration, granted, but for paint thinner is what they're using to take the caffeine out of coffee, because caffeine is naturally in coffee. Well, I don't think I should put that in my body. So now what do I do? And then I go down this road of, okay, let's try a bunch of different natural teas and herbal teas and see if I can find something that helps me be able to drink coffee but not drink coffee. And I don't know, I'm ranting, but really, truly, our motivation is to help people and teach people and to lift people up and to build a community of people who are like-minded. as I close, I just want to say, be part of our community. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you're just lonely in your homestead journey, reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you, and I ask you to help build each other up. And if we all keep doing that, then I really think the world will be a better place. Keep growing. Have a great day.